Are we still shipping Nick and Olandria? Did Huda do too much? Is Olandria still chasing Taylor? Who's going home? Who's staying? Episode 22 was such a good episode. And honestly, if Olandria goes home again, back to back, I'm raging. I'm not even a rager, but I'm a rage. All right, guys, we need to talk about episode 22 of Love Island USA because there was a lot going on. JD versus Huda. Had this nice thing with Nick and then Taylor, and then now we got Casa, Amor, recoupling and suspense and drama, surprises. Anyways, let's get into it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Whitney and welcome to my little corner of the internet. Today we are discussing episode 22 of Love Island season 7. Grab your snacks, grab your water, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and let's dive into this mess. Let's go. So we pick up right where we left off. It's still nighttime and Olandria and Nick, they're walking back from the dock. They're giving serious meant to be energy. It was cute. I love the scene, not gonna lie. We already know from the previous episode, they share their first kiss that was outside of a challenge. Immediately, Olandria's thinking about other people like she always does. And she's like, I know Sierra's going to freak out. And later on, they go downstairs and join the other Casa Amor girls and the boys. And Olandria is like, oh, I'm cold. Nick immediately takes off his shirt. So he has nothing on. He doesn't even flinch to be a gentleman, and I just love that about Nick. Okay, so let's get to one of my favorite scenes of the night. So Huda and JD, they sit down for a debrief, and he kicks off very light. You know, he's talking about the challenge, how it was good, they had fun. You know, just keeps it light and airy. The first thing that comes out of Huda's mouth is, I had to carry your slack, man. And I'm like, oh my God. JD instantly claps back. He says, no, you like to be dominant. Actually, no, he didn't say it with aggression. I think he was just being cheeky. He thought Huda was like playing. And then she was like, I had to lead your behind into being dominant. And he's like, no, you like being dominant. And then she said, I do, but I had to help you. You're trying to be dominant and I don't like to be dominated. Then he calls her combative. Huda was like, well, go find someone submissive then. JD said, you're doing too much. And then I'm like, yeah, can we actually normalize telling people they're doing too much? But oh my God, I just had to pause that episode. I was like, it's going to go for Chris? Dang. But let's see. So she walks away because she's in her feelings and JD throws it out to her while she's walking away. That's why we lost. I'm sorry. I was screaming because I did not expect this to crash and burn so quickly. And my whole thing is like, JD, you watched this girl crash out on national TV. But the way that he calmly told her, you're doing too much. I'm sorry. I'm living for this. Keep JD in the house. I don't think he's going to last. But let's keep him in the house for now because this was a little comedic relief that I needed. But just all jokes aside, you can't just steamroll and start a conversation like that and just get upset when somebody responds. Like, come on. Let's not do that. So as the night continues, we go back to the villa. Ace and Coco, they're having a much deeper chat. He asks her, are you the jealous type? She's just like, no, I'm not. He gave a finicky response of him not being jealous. He lets her know that he does have trust issues. He's been hurt before. So, you know, he's pretty guarded. So next we have Pepe and Grayson. They're having their own little chat flirty moment. And I'm not going to lie, I was just like, man, Pepe, you still here? Justice for Pepe. We need more Pepe scenes because Pepe is funny to me. Grayson thinks that him just kind of moving slow means that, you know, he's being authentic and respectful. But also she did mention that she's not someone that is comfortable with showing affection and doing all that in public. So, you know, he's respecting that. Not going to lie, I kind of wish Hannah was back. Pepe and Hannah, they were sister vibes. We'll just keep Grayson for now. So everybody is winding down for the night. Huda is venting about her problematic conversation with JD. Ace admits to the boys that Coco is his type through and through. Mm-hmm. So the just very like corny part of the night where Taylor and Clark are in bed and they're just, sharing some kisses. And as soon Olandria walks in the room, he stops. I'm like, oh, stop being so corny. Stand in it. Stand in it. So, of course, the next morning, it's the coffee, the breakfast delivery, the whole shebang. The Casa boys bring breakfast. JD said, forget Huda. He only brings breakfast for Amaya. And I was like, whoo, petty. Taylor brings breakfast for both Olandria and Clark. Shelly says that she's torn between Chris and Ace, and Elan suspects that Sierra's words and her energy don't match. So Amaya and Zach K, they have a chat. Amaya notes to him like, look, JD is bringing me breakfast. And Zach is like, hey, I like that. He's not intimidated. He just knows that, he has to step up and do his own thing as well, which I feel like we did see him prepare a plate, but we just didn't see him bring it up to her. He shares his upbringing, that he was raised by a single mom, and, they have a bonding for that because they're both very family oriented. Then, Amaya demands her kiss because she wants her kiss. So Nick and Nicklandria, they have a chat together. They're about their kiss and soul ties. And it came down to a very disappointing conclusion. The Nicklandria ship, the dreams, the fantasy is done. Like balloon, here's a balloon and here's a pin, pop, done, over. Nick admits that he does enjoy his kiss with Olandria, but he definitely was thinking about Sierra the entire time. Olandria said the same thing with her when it comes to Taylor. So essentially there is no romantic spark. They agree to just be friends. It is difficult for her, and it's very hard for her to see Taylor just enjoying himself in the villa with Clark. Honestly, my reaction was like, boo. I wanted chaos. Boo to them being friends. So Austin and Jaden, they go off to Soul Ties, which ends up being a very touching conversation. Austin shared that he had open heart surgery when he was about 4 years old. Jaden opens up to her having diabetes. And Austin says that he is definitely looking for a connection that is built on friendship. So here comes the moment that we all saw coming. Huda decides that it is time to make her move and immediately go for Shelly's current Casa man, Chris. So as soon as they sit down in that weird room where Amaya was sleeping in, girl didn't even finish sitting down. Immediately she's like, so how do you feel about Shelly? He says that his feelings for Shelly are strong, but he's aware that he has something strong that's back in the villa. Huda asked him, are you feeling anybody else? And he's like, yeah, I'm feeling you. And of course she plays the I love Shelly to death card, whatever. They discuss family, hot yoga. Chris lets Huda know that he does find her gorgeous, but Shelly is still his number one. They shake hands and they agree on exploring things. So then Clark decides it's time for a direct conversation. She pulls Olandria because she just wants to talk about this whole Taylor of a situation of a triangle. It's not really a triangle, but she just wants to talk about it. Clark tells Olandria, I respect you, but I am still exploring Taylor. Olandria said, well, your connection is more physical and you guys had less time. It was a little shade. Clark lets us know, like, hey, we have a real connection. Like, this is not a test. Olandria doubles down and she says, look, I'm going to keep nurturing what I have going on with Taylor. And then Clark is like, hey, we're two different people. The experience won't be the same. And when Clark said that, I'm like, okay, good. That's how you handle someone trying to diminish your connection with facts and not feelings. So I was like, good job for bringing that logic in the room with us, sis. It was just weird to me when she said, I'm just proud of Taylor for testing our connection. The man is not testing anything. He moved on. So next, Taylor pulls Olandria for a chat. I think he definitely hoped that she finally was going to see the light. What ends up happening instead? Olandria admits that she did kiss Nick in Soul Ties, and she doesn't find him attractive in that romantic aspect. And did you guys notice how Taylor didn't even flinch when Olandria told him about the kiss? Because he don't care. Meanwhile, in the cut, Clark and Grayson are like, okay. And Grace is like, listen, time is ticking. Like, lock in. Make sure you secure Taylor. Okay? Lock in, girl. Let's do this. Let's make it to the main villa. I honestly think that Taylor was secretly hoping that Nick and her would have a connection. This man is looking for any excuse to get out of this triangle gracefully, but without saying it verbatim. He only wants to entertain Clark, but I don't know. But all of this justification that Olandria doing is making me tired. And at this point, I'm just a little frustrated. As a viewer, I am very frustrated. So our little placeholder couple, TJ and Vanna, text message. Tonight, it's time. It's time for us to recouple. So we got some little pre-departure chaos. Everybody's stressed. Everybody's going back and forth. Ace is like, okay, do I like Coco, but I like Shelly. Shelly is like, I like Chris, but I like Ace. Iris is torn between TJ and Barista Boy, aka Zach C, who we really just don't even see him in this episode. Amaya is crying. Nick excited to see his baby girl. Huda finally has to sit down with Shelly, and she lets her know, like, hey, her and Chris, they had a conversation. She's intrigued. She wants to explore it. Because I was waiting. I was just like, because you did this thing with Hannah before. And poor Hannah didn't last long. So I was just like, okay, good. Good, Huda. Growth. Love to see it. Also, Ace said that he loves Coco's confidence and that's his type. So is Shelly not confident? Then our girl Olandria lets us know that she's never fought so hard for something. Friend, when you have to fight this hard, maybe that's your sign. Let it go. So Olandria decides to make one last desperate play for Taylor's attention. She goes to the photo booth, takes some cute pictures of herself. She puts them in his drawer, puts a little kiss on the back. And I was like, girl, this is giving middle school crush energy. This is not grown woman, unbothered energy. Like, what are we doing? We've lost the plot. The plot is lost. The plot is in the ocean. So it's now time for the red wedding, recoupling massacre, whatever you want to call this. Our OG Villa girls, they come in, walk in with their new partner. So, we got Amaya and Zach, Shelly and Brian, Huda and Chris, Rihanna and Brian. And again, justice for her, because why are we not getting her storyline? What is going on? God damn. So the boys come walking in. First, we got Austin and Jade, and they look very cute together. We got TJ and Vanna. His shirt, he looked good. That was a nice outfit. We have Pepe and Grayson. Grayson looked amazing. We got Ace and Coco. Coco said, listen, I'm wearing my baddest dress tonight. Is it me or all the girls had that weird loopy dress? Is this a style now? Where it's like maxi dress, loop, embellishments. I don't know, child. And then both Shelly and Sierra are just like, where's Armin? What's going on? Then Ariana hits them. There's only one new girl left. Does she couple up with Taylor or Nick? So Taylor walks in, so it's chaos. Sierra is gagged. Amaya is crying. Shelly's trying to be some support to Sierra. Sierra is breaking down as if Elan is not sitting right next to her. I was like, I am so embarrassed for my boy because he doesn't deserve that. Then the plot twist comes. Ariana's like, oh, but there's one more couple to join us. Then Olandria and Nick comes walking in and they both look amazing. The girls run to Olandria. The boys have their bromance. Actually, no, the boys didn't even have their bromance because Sierra and Nick, it was just straight rom-com. And I thought to myself, Lord, I think Nick and Sierra are about to win this. I'm sick. I am sick. And Elan's sitting there like, well, I'm done. I am done. See, Olandria, that's an example of like when you realize you don't have that many chances, it's not looking too good. You're just like, let me pack it on up. Listen to your brother, Elan. Listen to him. So the show is not over yet. Ariana explains that this is a new format and this is not going to be the typical regular recoupling. There's a new twist. Each islander must write the name of who they want to couple with If both of them write each other's name, they're officially couple. If not, they're definitely single and vulnerable. So quickly, let me just go through this list because there was too many people. So for the matches, we have Austin and Jaden, Given, Pepe and Grayson. We have Adriana and Brian, Nick and Sierra. Then we have Chris and Huda. So Amaya, who looked amazing in that little two-piece sequence pink situation she had going on. So both JD and Zach stepped up to the plate for her. She ends up picking Zach. JD goes home. I was actually a little bit surprised because I thought that her and JD could have had something there. But then again, I don't know. So now we have Ace. Is he going to pick Shelly? Is he going to pick Coco? So Ace locked in with Shelly. That's a given. So here comes the awkward moment of the night. Now it's time for Taylor. They have the nerve to play this Boy Is Mine instrumental. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Then Taylor picks Clark. I gasped for air, but was I surprised? No, not at all. And Amaya, no. No. Taylor, are you serious? There's no way, bro. There's no way. Zach is telling him, like, just chill. It's okay. Just chill. Bring Amaya back for Love Island games. Like, I need this girl. Listen, because too funny. So now we have Olandria. She is single and vulnerable. So I'm like, damn, is she going to end up going back home again? Then she's going back home again. Of course, production, they're just like, okay, we got to figure this out. We have the single and vulnerable are Elan, JD, Zach, Vanna, Coco, and Olandria. Then the villa has to save one girl. The Casa has to save one boy. I noticed how Ace was definitely pushing for Coco to stay so she can have her chance. Nick definitely was like, we got to keep Olandria here. She deserves to stay. And Clark is like, I can't decide. Oh, girl. So anyways, Casa decides to save Elan. And Nick, I can tell, is not pleased. The villa decides to save Olandria. JD, Zaxi, Vanna, Coco, they're eliminated. They got to go home. Andrea says, I hope you learned your lesson. Taylor is done. The door is closed. Taylor is done. I don't know how she's going to move in the villa. Andrea, we got to stop. Olandria, what are we doing here? Olandria, you can't go out like this. You cannot go out like this. We can't do this. Not in 2025. You will let a man like Taylor make you look like a fool on national TV. Hell no. So that's how episode 22 ends. I'm just a little confused. I don't know how episode 23 is going to kick off. I know they saved Olandria, but what are Olandria's options? Is she going to explore Elan? Are they going to send in more bombshells? Are they going to bring back Jalen? Like, I'm just confused. The plot is confusing. Are they going to bring in new bombshells? Are they going to bring back Jalen? I feel like they have, like, I've watched Love Island USA and UK for some time, and they do bring back some random bombshells towards like the end of the show that are good for that. But I know the producers probably have some tricks up their sleeves, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're sweating bullets. They're back in the boardroom in the whiteboard just trying to figure some stuff out. I don't know, but they need to figure it out soon, like right now. I definitely would have loved to see Coco stay in the villa just to kind of see like the whole Ace and Shelly of it all. But it is kind of sad that Coco was eliminated for not exploring, but then they did save Olandria, who refused to explore from day one. And like, let's make it make sense. Like, we love Olandria. We like our OG girls, but we got to keep it real when it's time to keep it real. I don't know what Olandria is going to do. She better do something or she's going to go home. So anyways, how are you guys feeling this episode? Just share down in the comments. Make sure you like the video. All right. Like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.